Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economics to YouTube Economics class. In this class today, we will discuss capitalism without capital. This is the research work of Jonathan Haskell, Professor of Economics, speaking to Srijana Mitra Das and Dr. P.C. Verma, former HOD and University Professor, University Professor of Economics, Patna College, Patna University, Bihar, India, explained this research work in a simple way for students. There are many factors which powered the rise of capitalism without capital, says Jonathan Haskell, professor of economics at Imperial College Business School. Economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. This is the research finding by Professor Jonathan Haskell. He says that economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of that growth. This is the main point for us and for understanding this fact by Donald Trump, President of US. India is at the top of that growth. India is not a dead economy, as announced by President Donald Trump. This research is very, very important to highlight the real development in the economies of the world. India is at the top of that growth. Economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of that growth. Haskell discusses the rise of intangible economy, what this produces. For example, software, developing movie scripts, creating apps, putting forward new ideas to organize businesses better, generating new ways of branding products. Economies are moving from being very tangible based to becoming more intangible based. Professor of Economics Haskell says that part of this scenario is that increasingly more developed economies have been outsourcing a lot of the manufacturing they were doing to less developed economies. So it is partly a shift in the structure away from conventional types of manufacturing and towards more services. But even within manufacturing, there has been a tremendous shift to much more intangible spending. A lot of this is now extremely high-tech, involving software research and development, etc. Another part is that as all economies in the world grow richer, the demand for more varieties of goods goes up. So the returns to branding goods and the clever distribution of all those varieties grow higher as well. This is thus an increase on the demand side for more intangible style spending to complement the range of tangible goods which companies are producing. Jonathan Haskell, professor of economics, says that part of this says that part of this part of this scenario is that increasingly more developed economies have been outsourcing outsourcing a lot of the manufacturing manufacturing they were doing they were doing to less developed economies. Manufacturing they were doing to less developed economies. Less developed economies. So it is partly so it is partly a shift, a partly a shift in the structure, in the structure away from conventional types of manufacturing and towards more services and toward more services. Number 3. But even within manufacturing, but even within manufacturing, there has been there has been there has been a tremendous a tremendous shift too much too much shift to too much more too much more too much shift to much more intangible, much more intangible spending. Spending. A lot of this, a lot of this is now extremely extremely high tech. High tech involving software, involving software research and development. Research and research and research and research and development. Mm, yeah. Another part is that as as all economies in the in the world in the world grow richer, grow grow richer. The demand for demand for more varieties, demand for more more varieties, more varieties of goods goes goes up. goods goes up. So the returns to branding goods to branding goods to branding goods and the clever and the clever distribution distribution of distribution all those of all those varieties all those varieties grow higher as well. There is thus there there is thus an increase an increase on the demand side on the on demand side on demand side for more intangible more intangible style spending the style spending to complement to complement spend to complement the range of the 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 range of tangible goods which companies are producing, which companies are producing. Which companies are producing. Thus, we conclude that another part is that as all economies in the world grow richer, demand for more varieties of goods goes up, and so the returns to branding goods and the clever distribution of all those varieties grow higher as well. There are thus an increase in the demand side for more intangible style spending to complement the range of tangible goods which companies are producing. This is the research work of Professor of Economics Jonathan Haskell, Professor of Economics at Imperial College Business School. Jonathan Haskell discusses the rise of intangible economy, what this produces, and its implication for equality. It is the finding of Jonathan Haskell that India is fast catching up with a rapid growth in intangible investment. And therefore, his thesis that nowadays economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of that growth. Donald Trump says India is dead economy. And Professor Jonathan Haskell is Professor of Economics at Imperial College Business School, said that India fast catching up with a rapid growth in intangible investment. This is great research work done by Jonathan Haskell. And this intangible style spending to complement the range of tangible goods which companies are producing. As we have discussed earlier also in this class also, I'm telling you, there are many intangible goods and services in Indian economy and other economies nowadays. Many are now writing software developing movie script, creating apps, putting forward new ideas to organize businesses better, generating new ways of brand products, etc. So it is interesting to know uh, and understanding how economies are moving from very tangible best to becoming far more intangible best. And on that basis, economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of the growth. India is fast catching up with a rapid growth in intangible investment. India, US, Greece, Czech Republic, Hungary, France, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, UK, Brazil, Japan. All names are there of the countries in which India is at the top. First is India in the production of intangible style of goods. India is at the top. Second position is to US. Third position is to Greece. Fourth position is to Czech Republic. Fifth position to Hungary. Sixth position France. Seventh position Sweden. Eighth position Denmark. Ninth position Italy. 10th position Spain. 11th position Germany. 12th position Netherlands. 13th position UK. 14th position Brazil. And 15th position Japan. Therefore, India is a rising economy. Therefore, it is said by many of the economists that India is at the top. This is now proved by the research work of Jonathan Haskell, that world is now producing more and more intangible goods. And economies are now shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of the growth. And first is India in producing intangible investment, and shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. India is at the top of that growth. India is fast catching with the rapid growth in intangible investment. I have quoted all the countries. And number one is India, and number two is US, number three is Greece in the production of intangible investment, in the shifting from tangible manufacturing to intangible investment. As we have already pointed out for the purpose of a student, that intangible goods and tangible goods, there are two types of goods in the world, different countries of the world. Tangible goods, tangible things, concentrating on manufacturing products from cars to aircraft, shoes, socks, etc. Things you could actually touch. If you can touch, this touch effect is most important to define tangible manufacturing. But increasingly, economies have started to produce much more intangible goods. Writing software, developing movie scripts, creating apps, putting forward new ideas to organize businesses better, generating new ways of branding products, etc. So, Jonathan Haskell, professor of economics at Imperial College Business School, has research work. And in his research, he tried to prove that most economies used to make tangible things, concentrating on manufacturing products from cars to aircrafts, shoes, socks, etc., things you could actually touch. But increasingly, economies have started to produce much more intangible goods and services. Many are now writing software, developing movie scripts, creating apps, putting forward new ideas to organize businesses better, generating new ways of branding products, etc. So this is a new economics, new normal economics, in which tangible goods are those who you can touch. But there are large number of goods now developed in the world, and India is at the top. US is the second. This is the research work of Jonathan Haskell, professor of economics at Imperial College Business School. India is at the top. US is second in the row. And third is Greece. Fourth is Czech Republic. Fifth is Hungary. Sixth is France. Seventh is Sweden. Eighth is Denmark. Ninth is Italy. 10th is Spain. 11th is Germany. 12 is Netherlands. 13 is UK. 14 Brazil. And 5th Japan. So India is at the top. US is the second. In case of intangible investment in large number of commodities and services which I have discussed, it is matter to cheer up. Cheer up, Indians. India is at the top in the production of intangible investment, and in the world, top, and second is US. This is the present scenario published by research work, Jonathan Haskell, very young professor of economics at Imperial College Business School. I am Dr. P.C. Verma, professor of economics, and became lecturer in 1973. I have topped in Bihar Public Service Commission, BPSC, in the selection of lecturer for economics in Patna University. My name was number 1, and then I got appointment later from Patna University to join Patna College as a lecturer in economics. I taught there nearly from 1974 to I was in Ranchi University in 1973, and then I shifted to Patna University, and I retired in 2016. But my conviction is that teacher never retire. Teacher is always a student. Every year, every time, change in the syllabus, change in the topic, adding new things. Just to see now tangible, intangible goods that were never been taught in the classroom in a so detailed and affecting to the development and growth of the economy. I am Dr. P.C. Verma, economist. My channel is in YouTube, Dr. P.C. Verma, economist YouTube channel. I have uploaded 3,000 topics of microeconomics, macroeconomics, public finance, economic growth, Indian economy, world economy, and continuously I am doing that. I had my office in Delhi for Hindi medium in uh, on Ansel building, first floor near the old Batra cinema in Mukherjee Nagar. For English medium, just beside the Raj coaching, Khan sir coaching, Khan sir not Bihari, there with Delhi University, Professor Khan sir. And third was by Dr. P.C. Verma, economist, UPSC Economics Academy. During COVID period, I shifted to online teaching, and now online teaching in the whole country, India, different parts, South India, North India, and especially Bihar, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Delhi, NCR area, all the students, Hindi medium, large number of students are opting for UPSC, RBI officers examination, State Bank PO, NABARD officers examination, Bihar finance officer examination, Bihar statistical officer examination, Bihar deputy collector and other post government in BPSC civil services. And different states had civil services where many students are doing that. I now say them that you read this topic, discuss it properly with one or two friends, and in any interview, you can discuss the position of shifting from tangible goods to intangible investment, and India is at the top, second in US. Rest are I have spoken. Thank you for watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe.